When you say live cheese, are you referring to government cheese?
No, it's the cheese.
That's another animal for you.
It's the
game.
cheese that still has maggots in it, and you eat the maggots with the cheese.
Nope, that's terrible.
Well, I was thinking more like a lizard that is like made out of cheese and it crawls around a dungeon.
Okay.
I mean, close. It sounds like.
Weird. Just look, we're getting started. Recently I've been thinking that people need to take some self-care time. They need to make sure to do things for themselves. I don't just mean like buying yourself something, but also activities to improve your local living area. So you may know I'm in the middle of swapping out my summer clothes for winter clothes, and I put about 20 minutes in there, which is, again, really not a lot of time, but I got something useful done. And then I was repeatedly memed on all day in Among Us, including being blamed for a kill that literally the entire rest of the lobby knew I didn't do because they watched the person do it. Okay,
you've just triggered something I want to whinge about just very quickly.
Go ahead.
About contributing to the community sort of thing. So, we've just with my wife and I, we've just replaced 2 of the child seats in our cars with bigger boosters for like one of our older children no longer needs a child seat. And one of the child seats we pulled out we've had it for 10 years. And the manufacturer's recommendation is to not use them beyond 10 years. And my wife is very big on following the rules. So she's like, no, we don't want to give this away or sell it. So I'm like, okay, no worries. We'll throw it away. Oh, but that feels like such a waste. So she spent all day yesterday phoning fire departments and rescue centers, seeing if anyone wants to have like this child that they can use to practice their like car rescues on, and the whole day, like phoning places that were like 4 hours drive away to try and get someone to take it. Nobody would take it. Yet still, I can't throw it away because it's such a waste, and someone will find a use for it.
I think
that's tough, James.
That's it.
I sorry to interrupt. I literally just opened a bag of like dried pineapple, and it smells fermented. Has that ever happened to someone before?
No, but that's really not a good sign. That's a very bad sign.
I took a bite out of it and I was like, oh, this kind of tastes alcoholic for some reason. Why is that?
Not good.
Yeah, that's
wow, that's insane. I've never had that happen to me ever. Like literally just open it right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's,
Cotton,
that's 100% fermented.
The other day I got a bag of jerky for Cotton. There's mold in it, which
I did not have that weird
jerky?
that weird.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah. That's wild.
It's not, I mean, they put the little silicate in there to desiccate everything and make sure that there is no mold. All right, well, that's my intro. I'm hoping to keep it quick because I'd like to end tonight with Dave getting his secret cultists in Abandoned Hope. That we clear this whole area real quick. We've done all the prerequisites to hire these people. Surely the negotiations will go well, and we'll get out of here immediately.
We say, get in, losers. We're hunting heretics.
Yeah, of course. Except these guys probably are the heretics. Speaking of heretics, let's talk to Pondo.
Secret cultist? What are you
I am Pondo.
About?
My week has been relatively uneventful. I haven't really worked on anything much other than doing some script writing. That's about it.
What you writing?
Script for a video that I'll put on my own channel at some point when I get to it.
What's the video?
It's going to be a review on a game system that is, I'm going to guess, relatively unknown from what I can tell.
What game system or what? Like,
it's the best way I can put it. It's a kind of generic war game system.
Okay.
And it's very, and the way in the book it says it's miniature agnostic, so you could use whatever miniatures you got, refined, whichever, yada yada yada.
Interesting.
Recently, they did a Kickstarter to do the kind of like the modern, because right now they have the faction creation for like the fantasy or medieval type age. Right. Recently, they just finished their Kickstarter for doing the modern / futuristic sci-fi kind of.
Is it like Cypher? Is that what you're saying? About for miniatures?
Cypher's the RPG system, like the Monty Cook one. No, not Monty Cook.
Okay.
Who did Cypher? What's Cypher?
Fantasy Flight.
No, Cypher is.
You're thinking Genesis.
Genesis. No, Cypher is the the system from Numenera, isn't it?
Yeah, Cypher is money.
Yeah, I'm getting my shit mixed up. But yes,
With
no.
Genesis, yeah.
Ironically,
Genesis
the system
is
is
one.
called, or what they're calling is the Genesis Project, which
Okay.
it's a pain in the ass for anybody to look up. Not really a pain in the ass. It just takes a little bit more effort.
Gotta get that SEO.
How many things are being
optimization.
called the Genesis project in the entire spectrum of the internet? Probably a significant amount of products.
Let's start
Yeah,
with
it's
Star
not
Trek.
Genesis RPG will show up first always.
Mhm.
I mean, this is Spoon, the same company which has now spawned off Edge Entertainment.
Yeah,
How good's that for
Entertainment Studios. Yeah.
SEO?
Yep.
That's like the Blizzard main director going off and starting a new company and calling it War Chief Gaming, and I'm like, are you motherfucker? Are you serious? That is the least SEO savory fucking company name I've ever heard of in my entire life. You might as well call it D20 Gaming. You know, like holy shit.
Wow. I apologize to D20 Gaming for this motherfucker right here. Jesus. Dave, you crossed the line.
D20 Gaming an actual thing because I just pulled that out of my ass. By the way.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
well,
podcast member the D20 Radio Network as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
there
is
you
that-
go.
is
The
that what you
most
said in the
generic
name?
fucking. Yeah, exactly. Because every motherfucker on the face of the planet is using it. I literally just out of the depths of my fucked up mind pulled this name for a company, and Arthur was like, "Damn, my friend has the exact same company." They've proven the point exactly.
So essentially, it's a system not meant to replace any sort of war games. Just mostly, it's more of a narrative based thing rather than competitive stuff because they do essentially either age progression, which is going from like medieval to I don't know how that's going to work out. I've been still kind of going over and over again. It's just an interesting thing that I saw that I thought I'd just make a video to be the precedent I set for the rest of the videos I do. So.
Wow, that's some big talk. Okay, I'm interested.
So if you want to see that from Pondo the Mad, you got to pester the shit out of him. That's why I asked so many questions about
It's
it. by the
true.
way.
You do have to
fucking
pester
do
the
it.
shit out of him.
join his Patreon. You can then see that premium content.
I don't even
You
think
can
I made
send
that
him direct
public yet.
messages on Patreon.
I do have one set up. I don't think it's public.
I want to mention, Pondo, that all of your potatoes in Raft disappeared in less than an hour.
Yeah, I was told that.
All
And,
of the fruit is gone too. We have absolutely no food left. It's been been turned into biofuel.
that seems like a waste, but okay.
The engines
Did you not
don't
save
run
any of the
themselves.
potatoes to make more potatoes?
Yeah, well, there's some potatoes growing,
okay.
but you
that's-
had hundreds of potatoes in there, and they're gone now.
I wouldn't say hundreds. I probably had maybe 800.
There were several hundred in there. Trust me. Listen, we're
someone else must have been
Ireland
growing.
during the potato famine right now. Okay, we have to live through fishing. Although I am going to gather up all the shark heads because apparently those fill half the container and they're worth like 100 potatoes each. So
Oh, there's like I think
Oh,
5
you
in
can
my
actually
chest.
put them in the
biofuel retainer. Yeah, they're half of a biofuel by themselves. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like 5 of those in. I think I
Yep.
put them in my chest.
Yep. We're converting shitty shark hats into biofuel.
Those are nice hats.
Yeah,
That show
don't you-
dominance
don't
of the
you-
oceans.
Don't you dare blaspheme the shark hat.
I threw a shark hat up on my. Listen, I wear a nice hat. I wear a nice mayoral hat that makes me look very official. It's very important. I'm the head of the homeowners association. Okay, you have to have a good hat.
Are you also part
You're
of
having
the
a hard
Filmmakers
time
Guild?
keeping a straight face.
I'm not trying to in any way keep a straight
I mean,
face.
We all know that cotton is the real power on this boat.
No, the Dauntless may be the real power in these waters, but there's none that can match the Interceptor for speed. You got anything else, Pondo?
No, that's it.
All right, Spoon, you're up.
So been playing Raft a little bit this week
Sure.
with AP and the community. So that's been a lot of fun.
Doing it again tomorrow.
So let's see what happened this week. Nothing happened this week, and it was good. So that's basically it for me.
Okay. James?
Hello. What can I tell you? Since Cyberpunk, I watched the first 2 episodes of WandaVision, which was interesting. I enjoyed it. I agree with the review that someone said, which is, I won't know whether this is an amazing show or a terrible show until I've seen the whole season, because it's really going to depend upon how well they capitalize on what they've done well, or whether they just let it rot on the vine. I think that, but I quite enjoyed it, especially as someone who grew up on like, not that this is my age, but like from my parents and such, the 50s and 60s, like shows like I Dream of Jeannie or
Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, it's got a very sort of Lucille Ball theme to it in the first couple episodes. But no, I enjoyed that. I finally loaded up one of my escape room games on the Oculus last night, and I mainlined it for several hours, doing I think 4 of the rooms until the batteries on the Oculus ran out. And then I charged it up overnight and finished it this morning. So that was a lot of fun. I really do enjoy puzzle games, and so someone who enjoys proper escape rooms just really sort of scratch that itch. I think most escape rooms are still not big enough to sustain large people with current COVID restrictions at the moment. I haven't been to one in person for a couple of years now. And I'll go away this week, which is I'm looking forward to. Just having a few days away with, the in-laws, which I'm not looking forward to, but they'll be in a separate cottage to us. So as long as we only have to spend a bit of time with them, it should be all right. They don't watch this show, so I can insult them as much as I want on this show. That's all I got.
Okay. Dave, what do you got?
Well, today I did the very adult thing and went to... So, okay. Backstory here. I haven't been to the dentist in like 12 years.
Oh, shit.
And I went to the dentist 2 days ago for the first time ever because, why not? And the guy was incredibly surprised that there is nothing wrong with my mouth at all. In fact, he was very skeptical that I had perfect teeth. So he was like, okay, come in for a cleaning today and get one of those panorama x-ray of your teeth. And I'm like, okay. So the lady like cleaned my teeth, and she was like, can I spend extra time cleaning your teeth because for whatever reason? I'm like, oh, sure. All right, fine. So I was there for like 3 hours while she was cleaning and polishing and whitening my teeth and all that shit. And then she took the photo at the end, and she was just like, you have fucking immaculate teeth. I don't understand how the fuck this happens. And I'm like, okay, cool. So there's like my entire mouth is literally perfect. I haven't been to the dentist in like, as I said, like 10 years or whatever the fuck. Like literally I lived in 2 different countries, and when I was in Australia was the last time that I went to the dentist. So now I'm basically sitting here just smug as fuck because bitch, I got perfect teeth, and it feels good. It feels good to actually say that shit. I'm really happy with myself. Yeah. I just wanted to share that. And I don't know what else. Let's see. I've released a prototype and a trailer for my next adult game on Kinky Fridays. I'm in the process right now of setting up the Steam page. Not that we're going to sell it on Steam for a long time, maybe like 7 months, but the page will be up so you can go wishlist it and stuff like that. Probably sometime next week, maybe the week after. We'll see. It depends how long Steam takes to verify. They tend to be a bit more anal when it comes to adult content. I still haven't had any time to finish Cyberpunk. Next time I have like 2 free hours, I'm going to sit down and just go right to the end of the game, because I'm like right at the point where it's like, are you sure you want to do this sort of mission? And how long does that take from that point, would you say, James?
It depends on so I've done 2 of the endings now. The first one I got is probably about 3 to 3.5 hours past that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I'll give myself 4 hours or something, and that'll put me over the 100-hour mark for the game for sure. Which surprised me considering like how roasted that game got, that I managed to squeak out 100 fucking hours from it. So that's cool. I guess it's definitely not my game of the year, but
I think it was still like, even with like bugs and stuff, it was still pretty good.
yeah, I wanted the looting to be more fulfilling. I love games that allow me to like rob people's houses and shit like that. I don't know why. Like, I just love that sort of shit. Like, if your house is complicated to break into, and then I break into it, your shit's mine. Like, that's how I feel about video games. That shit happens. So, but they didn't have anything like that.
No, not really.
And no one gave a shit when you stole anything in their game. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just take everything.
Was there stealing? I thought it was just stuff that was there. It'd be like, I picked that up.
No, there's no stealing. Like, you would literally walk into like someone's like there'd be like a mission where you go into some guy's house, like literally his house, and he's like, get out of my house, and then you're like, okay, I'll just walk around your house for a bit longer and find all the stuff that's not nailed down and take it with me.
There's a couple of missions I came into where you've got to go into like a locked hotel, and you can get the key card from the desk, and if the person at the desk sees picking up, they'll attack you. But there's ways to distract them as such. But he said, I guess that's the closest thing I've seen to stealing, is having to distract people.
Oh yeah, I know the exact mission you're talking about. But
I've had two like that.
That was very that was pretty much designed, I would say. Like, literally, like the lamp next to him, you could take that and he wouldn't give a fuck. But that key, oh no.
Yep. That's it.
And the thing about those particular missions is, like, they don't tell you that. If I see one of those little like hard drives, I'm hitting it every single time, right. Like just like straight away, like without even a second thought. So it was very like against the way that the game normally plays to those missions. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's me. Thanks for listening. Okay. I'm really disappointed about the pineapple.
What pineapple?
The pineapple I just opened that was fermented.
Oh. You should be disappointed about that. But you know what you shouldn't be disappointed about? Grimdark James kicking us off with the latest episode.
All right, let me get my recap out. All right, previously on Rogue Trader Tide of Iron, Nero receives a coded message from Inquisitor Shrain asking him to check in on requests for inquisitorial aid from Fenxworld. After arriving at the Fenxworld system, the senior crew need to negotiate their way past the Naval Admiral controlling all the orbital berths. The group meets with the Arbitrae's chief warden, who directs them to the prison hive of Volg to find their contact. After briefly investigating the strange murders on Fenxworld and briefly turning on one another, the group learns more about the mysterious murder room from one of its victims. And then heading to Hive Volg, the group meets with the fake navigator Raphael Mordino, who offers to take them to see the inhuman Lady Reina Nostromo. Thought for the day: fear not the creatures of the jungle, but those that lurk within your mind.
Nero hands Pierre the ammo box containing 5 units of Renka.
So is it like a rocket launcher ammo box?
Yeah. Yeah.
It all sad to me.
Yeah, I think when we last left off, you'd entered the hidden Nostromo household in Hive Volg beneath the sluiceway, and had met with the quite horrific-looking Lady Reina, which I included the picture in Discord for your benefit, not for not for the audience, but for the cast benefit. But it's inspired by the vampires from the film Priest. You see her sitting in this throne at the far end of the room, and she beckons you forward.
I think Pierre steps forward a little bit, probably about I don't know, maybe 3 to 4 meters forward if there's room for that, or about half.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
So this is quite a large room. So the ensemble before you is one where so they've been very specific about making sure there's no direct lighting anywhere. All lighting comes from behind furniture, and the tones are very much sort of reds and deep purples. Once again, lots of sort of deep armchairs and cushions. It's a very opulent thing, but it's also a very you feel like you're in a high class brothel. given that it's sort of like all this facade of muted tones and blood red colors.
It's not a comfortable feeling, this situation.
Yeah, it's quite dark as well. So the shadows in the room are long because of the way the lighting is done. And there's all sorts of like a mixture of votive areas where you've got like, a shrine to the God Emperor with candles lit there, for example, alongside things like a bunch of lascivious artifacts from various alien cultures, or not alien cultures, say like ancient human cultures that have been collected over time. There are, lots of portraits on the walls of various disfigured navigators that have been done by like obviously different artists over time, none of which have name plaques.
Do they all seem to share the same style of mutations as
no, they're all quite distinct. They are all obviously heavily mutated, but in various different ways.
So essentially Pierre will go halfway in between from where he was and where she is. So. Okay,
no worries. She sort of like then cranes her body forward somewhat, as though that extra 30 centimeters or extra 1 foot of leaning forward will give her a better chance of hearing you. Lord Commodore Cowles, welcome to the Nostromo household. How can we assist you?
I'd like to inquire on maybe hiring one of your navigators to help me in a quest that has been laid before me.
It's hard to tell expressions with no eyes, but she sort of like, leans back as though considering what you've said. Have you not already a navigator household with your family? Does not the Xantai household serve your kind? Is there some falling out that we're not aware of?
No, I need a navigator specifically from the Nostromo.
Curious.
For what I need.
Curious. Would this perchance have anything to do with the Harlock line? This is why most rogue traders seek us out.
Yes, it would.
Okay, wait, Potter, before this happens. I want to remind you that Riani is here, as is our new best friend, Astra Telepathica Rosen, and neither of them know that you are a Harlock.
There's a sudden significant PC glance from
I feel
Nero.
like we must have discussed this at some point. Is this the point where maybe you dismiss your servants from the room and have a solo conversation? Or are you just cool with them knowing?
I think I'm fine with Riani knowing. It's just if I want to keep the astropath or not.
All right. I mean, I can pull Rosen out of the room. For all they know, I'm just the guy that delivers the alcohol.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to do that, I'll just grab Rosen and
Riani is fine. Rosen might need pulled out of the room because I don't know how well the choir works with one less astropath.
Okay, yeah, I just bow and start making my way away from the conversation, and I grab Rosen.
Okay.
Well, I have like one arm wrapped around his shoulder, and I'm just quietly whispering.
He's quite happy to leave. He's quite
just like, so regicide. Anyway, let me tell you.
You know regicide's just chest, Arthur, yeah?
Yes, I know.
Okay, good. All right, you figure that out.
Very gory chest.
Yeah, but this is what we've bonded over, James. It's the important part. I need him paying attention to what I'm saying, not what Pierre's saying.
Nero prefers the Talarn opening.
Wow, okay. I prefer the one where you don't lose in 4 moves to the queen locking the king in the place.
She's still waiting for you to answer her question. Oh, so you said sort of, doesn't it? It sort of.
No, I said yes. It is about something to do with the Harlock line.
Okay. Yeah, that sort of, you get the impression she sours somewhat upon hearing that. How many times must we tell you rogue traders that the line is dead? There is no form for the glory to be held.
Well, the line is
no secret wealth.
the line is not dead, nor do I seek wealth. There's actually, as possible to know, there's actually still 2 alive. My sister, who has been missing for about 10 years, and myself.
Drop the mic.
This is a very bold claim. Do you have proof? A warrant, perhaps?
I told you, bitch ass, to get that warrant. I told you twice. Told you twice.
You hear from outside the room.
I've not yet to take the warrant that is owed to me due to not wanting to bring much attention to me. I have spoke with the Spider Bride back at, oh boy, what was the planet?
Yes.
What was it?
Quartus.
Quartus. Yes.
I've not heard of this Spider Bride.
She works for the Harlock line specifically.
Indeed, curious.
I think Pierre's now trying to think is like, maybe I should have maybe I should have got some sort of other proof of like, hey, I'm at Harlock.
Say I was to believe you. What is it that you require our family for?
I need your family to be able to decipher the path to get to, oh boy,
Mara.
I'm running all sorts of blanks. To Mara. To potentially find and maybe stop my sister before she tries to do something silly, and then maybe figure out a way to seal away the possible ruin of the Calixis sector of the Tyrant Star.
So you seek the Tesseract then?
Yes.
Very well. If this is what you wish, and you can substantiate your claim, then I will provide you with a navigator on 2 conditions. The first is that I've heard, well, my limited research about you is that you recently acquired your 2nd ship, hence the title Commodore. That
yes.
The next ship that you acquire, if you are fleet building, that you assign a Nostromo navigator to that ship. It may be the one we provide you, it may not, it's up to you, depending on how well you find them, but we would like to tie ourselves to a line of success, a line other than the Harlock. And even though you may claim to be Harlock, you carry a different name, a name that we would like to attach ourselves to. Secondly, once this business with your sister and the blind Tesseract is done, that you swear that the household of Harlock has no further need of the household of Nostromo. We will still do business with you as Lord Cowles, but we seek to end our terms with Harlock. Would you like some time to consider? Discuss this with your companions, perhaps.
The only worry is that if Nostromo was to be a navigator on one of my ships, is that obviously you all tend to express the mutations of your line of duty, which the Imperium does not look so high upon.
Of course, all of our blessings are sanctioned. Is not the impacts of being brought closer to the Emperor than any other, a blessing rather than a curse. I would not say that our family is not cursed, but I don't believe that our physical forms is a representation of this. We are simply better connected with the immaterium than others of our kind. Besides which, Lord Captain, casual racism does not become you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a really shitty thing to say.
yeah, to a navigator's face. No.
Wow.
I was not meaning it to be rude. I was more so stating the facts of how, unfortunately, the views of the Imperium can be so nearsighted.
Yes, well, you, I'm sure, are not such a nearsighted individual. You could be a paragon of understanding and build bridges between our households and the Imperium in general.
Indeed. Let me take a moment to discuss this with my...
Yes. I'll have refreshments. My attendants will show you to a room where you can discuss in private, and we'll have refreshments brought. So, sure, you are bustled off to like a sealed meeting room, which, you know, you Nero, with your tech, you can determine this is like it's a secure room basically. Okay. It's got no listening devices, and it's also sealed from the outside. But they also drop off, like, you know, quite cold, like to the point of being almost like when you take water, when you like drink water that's a bit too cold, it makes your teeth hurt.
Yeah,
it's like that's how chilled the water is they put on the table.
I go, you say anything to them, Lord Captain, that would make them upset? This water is refreshing, like the coldest water, mountain water spring on Adia.
Not really, maybe something on accidental that was taken the wrong way, but...
Shall we recap the conversation in a quick cutscene reel here?
Yep.
All right. Then Nero's just like, the condition of having you stand down and release the Harlock claim over them is ridiculous. You are their master. They should be doing this without any conditions at all. This woman owes you her fealty.
Right now, I am missing proof until I can't get said proof until I essentially make my claim.
Yes.
Which then would bring me out to the open.
It would also give you the power to enforce your demands over your vassals, essentially.
Yes, you will lose control of an entire navigator house, which is a value beyond value. To give them away for a single navigator? This is ridiculous. Rihanna, tell me he's being ridiculous.
They do seem to want to tie themselves to the Cowles line, however. But surely any terms you negotiate with them for that will be much more...
Yes, their situation there would not be owing fealty, but simply acting as employees.
So Riani comes in now.
Yep.
I think that, so there's been plenty of times in the past that navigator households and road trader households have fallen out of favor and have parted ways on either side's decision. This implication that she seeks to be released from the agreement, and as well as the fact that there's this claim that any navigator of House Nostromo can understand Harlock's work, would indicate that there is something beyond merely the contractual going on in this connection. She refers to her family as being cursed. Perhaps there's some sort of compulsion that forces her household to work for the Harlocks, and in some way ingrains itself into each of their new navigators in such a way they can interpret the works of Harlock.
Interesting. I knew there had been something else, because why would a navigator line want to remove their association from something else?
It
it's possible they know something about a House of Harlock that is not generally known, something that they fear for their own sake if it were to become known.
So then they want to disassociate themselves. James, how widely known is the whole Tyrant Star deal linked to the Harlock line?
It's completely unknown. It's only within the halls of some parts of the Inquisition that's believed to be the case.
So I wonder if it's just some sort of way to disassociate themselves before that news somehow or eventually gets out. Or it could be just a curse.
Or that they believe it is the Harlock line that has cursed them. And that working
they
for
wouldn't be
them
wrong.
has been cursed.
They wouldn't be wrong. The other question is, if I bring my claim of rogue trade of the Harlock line, how quick would that happen?
I'm not. Yeah, well, actually, who's got? You've got common law rogue traders.
Do I?
Does anyone have that? I thought that someone might have common law rogue traders.
I do.
I might have it as well. Maybe.
I have common law rogue trader.
Yeah, I would take common law rogue traders. I would take common law administratum, either those at +10, or I'd take common law imperium at -10.
Can I also get the contemplate?
Yep.
So be at 20.
This crazy guy, he's contemplating the shit out of
Holy
it.
shit. Are you kidding me? That's with a -10 too. So
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Re-roll that. Okay. No, never mind. I know nothing.
get him out of the way now, right?
So Dawn, obviously being part of the sororitas, you although you've never been a part of the Famulus, you are familiar with how the Famulus work. A lot of them grew up and were educated at the same time you were. Genealogy is obviously a very big part of how the Imperium works, and given the age of the Rogue Trader line, verifying a new member of like the Harlock line would probably require verification of genetics from Terra, from Earth itself. So simply sending the sample to, I mean, if they accept sort of like a computer analysis of a sample that they then go and read against it, you're looking at simply the time of the information get back and forth, probably a space of about 5 to 6 months. If something physically has to be sent to Terra, like send something to Terra and get a message back, probably looking at about 4 years. Something requiring a round trip to Terra, probably about 8 to 10 years. So
not anytime soon, essentially, guys.
Yeah, not something you can sort of say, make a phone call and have it verified this afternoon.
Okay. Well, for now, let's ask why they want to disassociate themselves with the Harlock line. Ultimately, we need the navigator. And
what about their other condition?
Them having a navigator with us?
I mean, they obviously don't know about the Gilded Throne. They mentioned us acquiring a second ship. They must be referring to the Italian Praetorian.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. I don't know if the Gilded Throne's been an official one yet.
In which case, if we were then to restore that ship as we plan to, that would then trigger that obligation directly.
Whoa,
Indeed.
well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We could acquire more ships before that one finishes refit and recrewing.
That's true.
We are about to go into battle with some orc corsairs.
Although I don't think we want to acquire any orc ships.
Yeah, we could get all the orcs off of them.
No, I don't think you understand.
We don't want the orc ships.
We don't want the orc ships.
I don't understand, you're right.
They're little better than flying rocks.
Yes.
Great for
Oh,
scrap
you're
metal.
referring to the ships, not the orcs. Yes.
Yes.
I see.
I mean,
But Nero does like ramming, and orc ships are made for ramming.
All these things are true. My advice, tactically, is to not give in to these demands. You can and will prove your claim, and she owes you her allegiance. You could simply give her some of your blood to prove it, could you not? This is a simple process that a hospitaller performed on a world where people made things with dirt sticks.
I think it being the Harlock line might be a little bit more complicated than that.
You could prove it to her easily, warrantlessly, via your blood. There's no way the Nostromo can't verify this if they wanted it to be. This is charlatanry and chicanery, an attempt to make an end run around your authority and that of your bloodline. She's attempting to negotiate from a position of power she does not have. Also, I was surprised to hear that you were so racist, and especially in front of Riani.
I didn't mean it in a racist manner. I was just speaking in terms of how the Imperium views.
Come on, it's not like they're greenskins or anything. Turn to look at Adrian like, right? You know? Those are the real enemy right there.
Subtle.
I know. Dawn, you've been awfully quiet. What do you have to add?
Well, the Lord Captain can do whatever he pleases. It is his line, it is his heritage. As far as I'm concerned, as long as he doesn't stray from the path that the God Emperor sets for him, he can do whatever he likes.
Everybody, please give me a -10 awareness roll.
Perfect.
Haha! You're all stabbed.
Oh, I passed. Okay.
Hey, I fucking killed it.
I'm good. I'll take the fail.
Okay. So
I
those
will also take the fail.
Those of you that passed, it's hard because this room is specifically made to be secure and like, you know, muffle sound, etc. But somewhere else in the facility, you know, because you can sort of hear like, you know, the sounds of the building around you, like because you're also beneath a sluice station, so you can sort of hear the distant running water and sort of stuff. You think you hear in the distance the telltale report of a bolt round going off, like the sort of the whoosh thump of a bolt round.
Like actual, like someone firing,
Is
or
it
someone
a
like
bolt round or a
racking
series
a
of bolt
bolt?
rounds?
No, a single bolt round fired and then so bolt rounds, remember, explode once they actually hit something. They're mass reactive rounds, so you hear like the crack of the gun followed by the thump of it.
I was making sure it wasn't the gun cutter shooting its bolters, the heavy bolters. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think Pierre goes to the door to see what's going on.
Pistol, right?
Nero's just looking around. He's like, "What are you doing?"
I mean, the door is locked. You'd have to basically.
Why are you moving towards a door? We're
Did
in
you
the
not
middle.
hear?
For someone so attuned to murder, I'm surprised you didn't hear that.
Do what?
Yeah. Nero's just looking at Adrian like, wow, look at these guys.
Well, Captain, this is exactly what I was telling you about. A lifetime of firing a loud weapon next to his ears unprotected.
Yes,
he's becoming more and more unfit to serve as your bodyguard.
Essentially, there's a bolt round fired.
Nero turns and stabs. Is just like, hey, Don, remember when you said that you were only going to
now's not the time, Nero.
Speak to the Lord Captain about his measure of faith in the God Emperor, and yet you continually demean a God Emperor servant right in front of you?
Nero, now's not the time. Are you
not
aware of
ignoring and knocking on the door?
Okay. Shortly after someone opens the door, one of the servants. Yes, sir. How can I help you?
There was a bolter round fired somewhere. What's? May I ask what could that been from?
Let me go and find out for you, sir. I'll be right back.
Okay.
He closes and relocks the door.
Shit.
Well, that was really well played, Lord Captain. Just a foot in the doorway would have been a good one.
Do we have all of our weapons and stuff, or no?
Yeah. No one's disarmed or anything.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we're not stuck here.
So as Nero is waiting, Nero is just like, look, I told you, I bought a ridiculous amount of explosives, and I'm carrying an unspecifiedly large amount of them for my demolition skill. But Lord Captain, as long as we're locked in a room together with no immediate exit, I think now's a good time for us to analyze our future stealth strategies. I'm looking around at us and I'm realizing we really didn't do a good job of blending in on this planet.
Of course.
What
not.
is there to blend
with
in
our
with?
armor and everything? Well,
I just,
look at you. You're just a man that's just armed to the teeth.
Thank you.
The door goes off with a chime like someone's about to open it, just so you could, to stop talking about private stuff before it opens. And then
okay.
the same servant opens the door. Nothing to worry about, sir. Just a household matter. It's been dealt with. No cause for concern.
Oh, okay. Well, we'd like to step out and speak with the head.
Oh yes, I'll let Lady Rainy know you're ready, and we will reconvene shortly. He closes the door.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Lord Captain, just a wedge, literally a small piece of wood, would stop this. So anyway, about our stealth strategy, if we're going to use it in the future, maybe we should consider blending in with the locals. I'm also noticing they don't use golf carts in this part of the world.
Or wear power armor. Or carry heavy bolters.
Well, only Don is wearing power armor right now, but
that was
have rocket launchers.
Cade's not with us. I don't have my rocket launcher.
Oh, that's right.
Nero, I'll have you know that this is important robes for the ecclesiarchy.
It's what's under the robes that concern me, Don. And
I will have you not think of my undergarments like that, please.
It's not your undergarments that concern anyone, Don. It's the power armor you're wearing. It's pretty obvious. Literally everyone can tell.
I'm not wearing power armor.
You're not wearing power armor. So you're not wearing any armor right now.
No, I'm wearing the
carapace?
Stormtrooper carapace.
Oh, whatever the one is that I have that's not that hand. Let me double check. I have it written
You're
down.
still wearing very obvious armor. Stormtrooper carapace, you can't just throw a robe over it and be like, I'm definitely not wearing armor.
The enforcer's carapace.
It's the same as a character artwork. It's like
it's the same as the character.
Oh, okay.
It's the hospital art plate basically.
Yeah. It's like super obvious. I mean, it's very obvious that you're a hospitaller, right? Like, you're not a normal person who goes walking down a city street, Don. You kind of stand out.
What is the purpose for needing to appear like a normal person, Nero?
Stealth?
In what possible way would looking like a person give us stealth?
I don't have any measure of capacity to answer that. If you wish to blend in with a crowd, you must look like the crowd.
Again, we come back to the main question at hand. Why do you wish to look like a crowd?
Because our entire purpose in coming here was to secretly meet with the Nostromo. I turned to Riani, who planned this mission more or less.
I'll remind you, you were the one that also not so secretly introduced us to the Arbites when we first went into there.
Yes.
But
I didn't say it was anyone's fault. I just said we should reconsider our stealth protocols.
Rihanna clips in with, no one else knows we're here. Is that not what we wanted? We wanted to meet with the Nostromo, but
we kind of went into the city and met with the Mad Navigator, and that was all very public and out in the open. I mean, it's not like we called the governor, but
I think we've been as stealthy as we could be while ensuring the Lord Commodore's safety.
And also going down in a gun cutter.
I also don't see you, Nero, walking around
point?
with anything other than what you've got on you, which is an entire armory of weaponry.
I agree, Don. I'm saying we should rethink our stealth protocols.
Nero, I'm not sure if we're the type of group that can do stealth.
Not with that attitude, Lord Captain. Not with that attitude. We have very
bombastic attitudes towards situations.
I'm really trying very hard to learn more about stealth. That's all I'm saying,
We appreciate the effort, Nero.
I'm just saying, I could destroy an entire battlefield in mere moments with my destructive capability, but
do they have
I also feel like surprising
in the 40K
people.
Universe? Like, is it possible for a soldier to be so unfocused by learning everything that he wants to, like, that screams like ADHD to me.
Have you never heard of a commando, Don?
What are you insinuating?
That was such an incredibly weird answer to my question. I'm done here. I'm going to do what all soldiers do, take a nap until something happens.
The door chimes.
I immediately wake up.
Yep. It opens up. The same manservant is there, along with another man. He looks to be in his early 50s, grey, scraggly, like shoulder-length hair and a beard. He's clearly navigated based on the fact he has a covering over his forehead, and is wearing robes of the Nobilite as well. His skin is sort of pocked with sort of like black veiny boils on his face and where exposed arms, where you can see like where it's actually in some cases like they burst, and there is like a sort of a tarry substance that sort of oozes out, like sort of pus like, that he's sort of got in a few places. He's got like bandages wrapped around bits of limbs where you can sort of see this like this oily substance is soaked into the bandage as well, needs to be changed. It's got like, how like motor oil where it thins out has like a yellowish color. It's like that. It's like black in the middle, but sort of yellows off at the edge. And the manservant says, "I'm terribly sorry. The lady has some other business come up. However, she has asked me to introduce you to I need his name now. I didn't have my notes page. Worst GM ever. Stand by."
James, that's I know that's not true.
Yes. She's asked me to introduce you to Wulfric Nostromo here, a navigator of this household. She is prepared to offer you Wulfric services. She doesn't require any further progression on the other matters that were discussed, but would like to discuss them with you as a business point at a later date. But Wulfric services are being provided with Lady Rayna's compliments.
Welcome to the evolution of
Oh my God, that was so loud.
Sort of
Can I like see how
to see whether like
this is the point where I scream insight check.
Yeah, exactly. Like I definitely want to do an insight check on this.
Scrutiny check.
Scrutiny, yeah.
Plus 10 scrutiny.
Okay.
Sorry for the folks at home. Apparently, I had an ad for Hondas pop up right in my face and begin screaming at top volume.
I'll re-roll it. I don't care.
Didn't you buy a Honda? Was it a Honda you bought?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
I was looking up information about
You've been data mined.
Yeah, no, I was looking up information for my dealership because I need to go take it in for service now. And I got a pop-up, and I was like, no, a pop-up? How could that happen? I literally have a pop-up blocker. So I don't know, but it was so loud, James. Incredibly loud.
Okay. So, Adrian, this manservant, probably the only part he's probably deceptive about is the fact that she's been caught elsewhere. Like, as far as he knows, whatever reason, she's probably just chosen to cut this meeting short. But he honestly believes that this navigator has been assigned to you, and that lady would like to speak to you later, just not at this point in time. And you got the sort of impression of, like he's got a bit of a get them out of here type instruction going on right now, like, solve their problem and get them to leave. For the navigator as well, he looks unhappy with the current set of circumstances, but sort of almost resigned. He's got this resigned look on his face.
Okay.
Yeah. PM misses all the nuance.
Seems fine to me. Seems legit.
I mean, she's not lying to you directly, so this guy's just telling you to the best of his knowledge what's going on. So
wait, does accepting this navigator constitute accepting her terms?
No, he's made it clear that this navigator is being provided with her compliments, and that she would like to discuss those other terms as part of a future business deal in the future. Just not right
What's
now.
What's her leverage in the future?
Oh yeah, this is what Adrian's going to say. He's like, I suggest we take this boon we've been given and leave before we get caught up in any more navigator house politics.
You know what they say: never look a gift horse in a mouth. Not that I know what horses are. That's right. I said that last episode.
I was bringing it back.
That's it. I guess we leave.
Yeah, it's Pierre's just leaving. He's all right. Let's go.
All right, new navigator. What's your name?
Wolfric.
Wolfric, right. All right. On the navigator totem pole, you're below all the other navigators right now. We work on a seniority basis. This is your new boss. Her name's Rihanni.
He greets her and hands her a dart. So these will be my requirements. She takes a look at it. She looks a bit sort of surprised. For
the Mancer, Pierre will hand him the rocket launcher ammo box that has the wine in it. It's like, this is for the madam.
I'll ensure that she receives it. Thank you very much, sir. He stands around awkwardly to see if any thrones are coming his way, and then leaves.
I take a piece of gum out of my mouth and give it to him.
That's terrible.
It's a Home Alone 2 reference.
Yeah, that's right. That's where that came from.
Of course, yes.
Please, no more Home Alone 2. We've had enough Home Alone 2.
No, thank you,
for
sir. I
lifetime.
still got my previous one. Oh, okay. I won't give you any money then. Goodbye.
Rihanni looks a bit sort of shocked at his list of requirements, but sort of pockets the data slate. You make your way back up to the golf cart. When you get there, everyone give me an awareness roll. It'll be plus 20 for Nero. The rest of you at plus 0.
Wow. What did I do to be so special?
The golf cart's special to you, that's all. So.
That's true.
You notice a severe amount of graffiti on the golf cart.
I'm gonna, if it's special to me, and it is, I'm gonna re-roll.
You also notice that all of the wheels are gone, and in exchange has been swapped for bricks.
Yeah, 3 degrees of success.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody has definitely onced over the golf cart.
What do you mean by onced over?
So effectively, opened up the glove box, because it's an open top vehicle. So someone has just gone through and just checked it over. With 3 degrees of success, you actually find a sticky residue on the backrests of the seats. Like this, it's like if a child spilled a sugary soft drink in a car, would leave bits of sticky drops. It's like that. On some of the seats.
Do I have any suspicion linking this to maybe some people in this house, or?
Well, it's happened since you parked here.
Yes. Have I seen somebody who's like, ooh, I weep sticky substance from my hands because I'm a weird Nostromo navigator? Or...
No, and it's on every seat as well.
Is it blood?
No.
Did the dude get shot in the back of this?
No.
All right, I turn to Wolfric.
I'll give you a logic test if you want, Nero, for plus 10.
Great, excellent. That's listen, old logic Nero. That's what they call him.
The fucking Robert Downey Jr. gif slowing down of him sorting out Sherlock.
Oh wow,
you're so close,
close. I'm not gonna re-roll that.
No worries.
It was going to be that gif, but now it's the gif of Zach.
No, it's
from
Hanzo with the simple calculations meme.
No, it's Zach Galifianakis from Hangover, doing the exact same thing with the math, and he's just,
all right.
trying
I turn to Wolfric and I'm just like, did someone from your house abscond with our vehicle and do weird stuff with it? There's residue everywhere, all over it.
I'm not aware. No one told me anything about this.
Okay. Does this normally happen to visitors' vehicles? They get looked over, they get onced over, and then people put weird stuff on the backrest and on all the seats?
No, that's not I would not call that a common household trait.
I see. This garage is secure. You don't just let random people wander in from the sewer system.
No, that's right. Once the door's closed, the sluice above fills in with water.
So someone from within your house did something here?
It wasn't that way before. And that's the only reasonable.
So you think that? So just to be clear, you think that I look like the kind of person who would allow this to happen to my vehicle?
I simply said if this was not how you bought it, then the only explanation is it happened in this household.
Who is your garage manager? I'd like to speak to them intimately within Bolter Ridge.
I'm sorry, he's a little busy right now, being dead.
That guy comes out licking his fingers, holding like a big bucket of chicken. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
We have a mechanic that services the vehicles. He doesn't work in the garage, so to speak. He services. It's like they have a maintenance guy, who does like all the.
When you have a failure of security in this house, who is in charge of household security?
Yes, we have a master at arms.
Why don't you call that person here? I'm sure you have their telephone number.
Yeah, he goes over to a console and types something up, and comes back. He'll be here momentarily.
All right. I'm like, Lord Captain, someone has messed with our vehicle. I mean, just look at this. I think Nero points to all the weird stuff, and he says, someone very clearly opened the glove box as well. They put their hands all over this vehicle. And you can see this residue. Look at it. I don't even want to touch it. I'm wearing 2 layers of armor, and I still don't want to touch it. It's weird. So I want to know how far I'm allowed to go in researching just who messed with our shit.
Perhaps the person who got shot?
What? Oh, right. You still thought a bolter round was fired. Yes.
I don't think that it was definitely fired.
Of course.
It was definitely fired.
They confirmed it.
I would definitely know if I heard a bolter round being fired.
Well, clearly you didn't.
Nero just gestures.
Clearly you didn't hear it, so.
All of the bolters around him.
So shortly after, a man comes in, bald man with a sort of a Fu Manchu style, beard and goatee, in like some sort of carapace armor underneath like ornate like rows of office, along with he's flanked by a couple of guys who carry effectively like ceremonial spears, but also have bolt pistols on their hips.
Like, how tough do these guys look? Like, could I gun them all? Like, they're all within 2 meters of each other. Do I feel like I could kill all of them with the heavy bolter all at once?
I mean, their armor is heavy enough that it could stop, 1 or 2 bolt rounds. It's okay. When you put enough bolt rounds into them, some are going to get through, basically.
No, don't worry. I know that's true.
Yeah.
They say that there are men who fired enough bolt rounds to go through one side of the planet and out the other.
See, one of the tricks of course spraying a whole group of people is you can only get Emperor's Wrath on one of them.
That's fine. So, you only need to get Emperor's Wrath on the captain. The others are just mooks. Yeah. All right. Someone has broken into our vehicle and left a weird sticky residue around it. Master of Arms. What's your name?
My name is Rollos.
This happen often to you here, Rollos?
No. I understand that one of our geneticists was under orders to examine your vehicle.
One of your Genesis. I turned to Pierre and I'm just like,
Is that the one that got shot?
Flashing back to the conversation I had where I was like, they could definitely prove. They must have that technology. People who live on a planet full of dirt could do it. And where is that geneticist?
He's not currently in the household.
I see.
He left with a lady about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, so he wasn't the one that got shot. Interesting.
There was a gunshot, apparently. What was that about?
Yes, it was accident's not quite the right word for it. It was a suicide.
And who suicided exactly?
One of our perfunctory navigator staff. A member of the Nobilite, but a junior member.
And is that normal?
No, that's not normal.
You can understand my level of concern then. Is it normal for the Nostromo to randomly spray down and search a vehicle of one of their guests?
No, that's not normal, but that was still the orders issued by the lady.
No, I mean, Nero's just like, this is a diplomatic affront. No one should die here. Doesn't look like anything's been removed, but it obviously also wasn't cleaned. So, like, he's not going to kill anybody without Pierre's orders, but, this very clearly is an obvious, offense, right? Like, you don't go and be like, we're secretly your masters, and we can prove it. And they go, yeah, you can't. And then they stick us in a room and go, oh, shit, I guess you are. All right, well, maybe we're just going to put weird genetic stuff all over the seats and check the glove box. Like, it's fucking weird, man.
So effectively, what he can tell you can ascertain is what's probably on the seats is they've effectively used, Scotch tape to like lift DNA, like, you know, or like lift hair from the seat, and it's just left behind like the adhesive from the tape on the seat. That's right.
Nero just gives him a look like he's a dumb motherfucker and says,
I'm just imagining the most redneck, like, forensic science going on. Went to Walmart, get a roll of Scotch tapes.
"This is an insult and will be treated by such. The houses of Harlem." Wait, sorry. Yeah. I forgot. I forgot that Rosen is still here. The House of Nostromo will not. Or God damn it, no. The House of Cowles will not forget or forgive this intrusion and lapse of guest right and diplomatic security. Please extend my personal regret to your master.
All right, and you are?
The master at arms for the House of Cowles.
Okay. I'll make a note of it. I'll make sure it's noted in the log.
Thank you. You can place my name as Care N.
All right. He
I
leaves.
also like the idea that now we're going to have some sort of security detail for a golf cart.
It's just Cade. We're leaving with the car. Hey, Wolfric.
Yes.
What do you know about that guy that shot himself?
I only heard. I understand it was one of our acolytes, one of our younger navigators. Yes.
Yeah, that happened normally.
No, that is unusual, and certainly unusual given the circumstances of your arrival. But I can only assume that it was something to do with your arrival.
So you do think he died because we're here? Good.
I think. Well, I think that there was no signs up until today that he was going to take his own life, and yet apparently he has.
I'm going to put a hand on Wolfric's shoulder and say, "Wolfric, is there anything you're lying to us about or that you're withholding? Any critical information we'll discover at a later junction that will cause me to want to go into your room at night and murder you in a way that's so messy, your fucking ghost will haunt the room forever."
I should be clear here that I work for House Nostromo. I am here at my lady's pleasure to assist you. If there are things I withhold from you, I'm withholding them from you because those are the orders I've been given by my liege.
So you are withholding things from us?
As I said, if I have to withhold things from you, they will be on the orders of my liege.
Wolfric.
All right, Nero, that's enough.
Yeah. Just remember, Nero has a 65 Intimidate, and it's really his only way of communicating with people.
His only way of communicating is threatening to murder.
Wolfric, I hope that you don't come to regret this conversation at a later date. Just remember, my door is always open if you have anything you need to confess for the good of the ship and for House Nostromo.
I think Pierre's putting up like an internal like betting pool to see who would win, the killer death eye or Nero's quick reflexes.
Can't wait. I'll catch him while he's asleep.
Adrian gets into the golf cart and is like, "Don't worry, Wolfric. He's like this with everyone."
He has no other way to communicate.
Quite sad, really.
He sits down uncomfortably.
Yeah,
he's quiet.
I just talked to Rosen the whole way back to the gun.
All right, I'll say that. So Rihanna's sitting next to Dawn, for example, on the way back, and she sort of like just shows Dawn, on the slide, like Wolfric's list of things he requests, and it's things like,
Scrabble, American cheese.
His room needs to be a certain size, for example, and he's got some particular bedding requirements. Unusually, he requires 30 pounds of glass, clear glass every day.
Is there a Medicaid reason for 30 pounds of glass?
Not that you know of.
Does he eat the glass? So where's the glass
30
go?
pounds of it?
You see, I like to use pure shades of glass to pop every one of my boils on my body every day.
I was trying to think. It's like, all right, you need to use glass for something. Why 30 pounds every day?
What do you think? I'm going to sleep on dirty glass? Come on now.
I don't know. Feels like maybe
Clearly, you're not a man who's ever slept on a bed of glass before. Huh?
I feel like Wolfric is just a Minecraft streamer.
Every day I build elaborate traps waiting for Nero to walk into my room.
Well, that's gonna be you're gonna wait a long time.
I invite him every day for dinner, and he doesn't show up.
So the drive back to the gun cutter is uncomfortable and uneventful, other than people giving you weird looks in the street as you drive past.
See, Lord Captain, I'm telling you, stealth. It's about tactics, just like regicide. So anyway, I was thinking about a new strategy where you open by moving the knight forward. In that, oh, I'm sorry, Don. Is tactical doctrine not? You know, Adrian, we have an upcoming space battle against the Corsairs. You should probably research, Orcish Corsair tactics so that when we're en route to, I have the name in the world. I swear I do. Kolth. When we're en route to Kolth, we can plan a strategy for using both ships.
Do some sort
Shoot them from a distance as I try to proceed to ram us.
Well, that does work for the Hand of Calixis, but the Eternal Praetorium is a light cruiser. It's got much heavier armor and a lot more hull integrity, and more importantly, its guns are shorter range. They have almost 30% less range. It's more suited for flying between two enemy ships and firing at them from either side, and then caracoling around and trying to chase one with the lance. That's just what I would think. It's not like I'm some sort of tactical shipmaster. I'll leave it to Adrian.
I'll be sure and install Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 and run some simulations.
I'll probably stop on the mission where you literally can't win.
So the knight in
Wait a second.
Primarch...
Cadia blows up during that game. I don't like it very much.
The knight in Regicide, by the way, is called the Primarch. The
Primarch, yes. The Primarch is one of my favorite pieces. What do you think, Rosen? Which one's your favorite piece?
I'm definitely the Emperor. The Emperor, yep.
Really? You feel like the Emperor? Oh, interesting.
It feels like that's the only right answer as far as he's concerned. Oh. To put any other piece above the Emperor is purely is heresy.
Theologically, I agree with you, but I just like the L-shaped movement,
All right. Apparently, a very popular way to play Regicide is to play it hooded, where several pieces aren't actually placed on the board, and you track their location mentally. You remember where they are. So,
wow, this is not a game for Nero at anything more than a child's level.
So, Arthur, you mentioned something earlier that I've completely forgotten about or something, but you said something about finding slaves or something for me?
No, our next place our next thing is to get back on our ship and go to Abandoned Hope, and you're going to try to recruit crazy sororitas flamer chicks, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
of course.
I thought that was how we were going to enter the second half. So, and it looks like we're on course to do that because we're getting in the gun cutter, we're flying back to the ship. It's taken less than 16 hours, and we're leaving with zero problems, right, James?
And we're definitely not going to go investigate that keg.
Pierre will have a message sent to the Arbiter saying, hey, this prisoner, I'm guessing he's a prisoner.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll call the guy. And check
Pierre's
to see
already
Wolfric.
checking in.
Oh, well, check to see if Wolfric... I'll be like, hey, Wolfric, are you one of those less than sixers? Is Nostromo 6 generations? You good?
Yes, none of us are a part of the official citizenry of High Vogue.
Yeah, see, Captain, we don't need to do shit about it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I mean, I'll send him a prefectory message, just being like, yeah, we're taking a guy.
Don't bother with it. It might cause suspicion to get them caught.
Effectively, within the terms of the Imperium, I rank above him anyway, so... as to all of you.
You know what? He's a good man, though. He's trying to make the best out of a world that's falling apart.
Have they still got that murder problem in Hive Novacastria?
Oh, yes, certainly so.
I'm sorry.
What do you know about that?
A murder problem in a hive? Really? Tell me more.
Only that there's been some strange happenings regarding people going mad and killing each other. But then that hive's always had a colourful past. It's what's it called again? It's the home of a particular thought cult. No, what do you call it? Not a thought cult, like just a movement named Ateanism has started in Hive Nova Castilia, spread throughout the sector.
Interesting.
Is it heretical?
I believe that it's one of those cults that is being watched, but not acted upon just yet.
Okay, that doesn't mean it's not heretical, but
I've even heard rumors there are inquisitors that claim to be among those who adopt the philosophy.
Nero laughs. The Inquisition. The Inquisition is a myth. Then he turns to look at Wulfric.
He looks at you like you're a scary idiot.
Perfect.
Yes, this man is very scary and also very dumb.
He can't be negotiated with because he's crazy. That's the impression I want to give this one guy.
All right. At some point when you're getting back on the gun cutter or heading back to the ship, Riani pulls Nero and Pierre aside. I know you said, Nero, that you wanted this navigator to report to me, and that
yeah,
I don't want him as part of the navigation of our ship. I don't want him in the Oculus. I was planning to treat him simply as a guest on board the ship.
We won't require his services until we need to make the final jump to Mara.
I don't think the issue was finding Mara. I mean, I could get us to Mara. I think it's more about what happens on the surface of Mara that requires the navigator.
Well, it's the Lord Captain's call, but I don't care what you do with him.
I don't need him until we need him, essentially.
Is there paperwork you don't like doing and you can give to a subordinate? That's typically how I solve all our problems.
She's basically just like, I don't want to get 30 pounds of glass every fucking day.
I don't. Yeah, she wants as little doing as possible, basically. And
does she show Pierre like the requirements he has?
Yes.
What does he need? Wulfric, why do you need all this glass?
And where does it go?
My money's on popping your sis.
He looks at you and it's complicated.
We're about to have a very long shuttle ride back up to the ship. Can you shorten it down to 3 sentences or less?
So there's this thing called Pinterest, right? I have a business.
Oh my god, no.
Adrian just does the thing where like the limo driver glass just goes up.
As I see that going up, I try and like slide in between to get away from this conversation.
And close the cockpit door. Just
it's not something I talk about in polite company or this company.
Fair enough.
All right, Nero just rolls his eyes. And he's like,
perhaps another time.
he goes back to the huddle and says, look, I don't like him. Probably none of us like him. Doesn't seem like he really likes himself. You don't have to take him into the Oculus, but I'm telling you, punishing him by giving him all of the shitty jobs would be perfect for him.
Like most of my administration tasks involve working with Arcana artifacts. I don't want to inflict on him Rosen. That guy's name is Rosen too, isn't it? From memory, I just realized.
No, yeah, it's Rosen is the telepathica.
Yeah, but I thought
also
that,
the other guy. Yeah, okay. Look,
yeah.
If you don't want to deal with him, then we just stick him in a hole somewhere and give him some 30 pounds of glass every day.
That's probably
he'll be our guest until he's needed.
Okay.
All right, congratulations, Wulfric. You don't have any official job because no one needs your help. Adrian, open the cockpit. I need to get in the gunner seat.
All right, the cockpit door opens.
I immediately close it, lock it in Todd's face. So, Adrian, know any good space shanties?
Oh, a few.
Cutscene. Scream white.
Yeah, it's like the scene as the gun cutter flies past in space, as you can hear somehow the singing from within the cockpit outside in the
Star
camera's in
Wars.
Space. Yes. Okay, you return to the ship. All hands begin to make ready to leave. You probably managed to do that. All that happened in the time frame the ship was in high orbit to offload foodstuffs. So you may get a profit factor, which becomes 2 profit factor thanks to hard bargain.
Wow.
For transporting food to Finksworld from Sard.
Yeah, Cal,
so
super
we'll
genius.
be at 38, correct?
Yep.
Hell
The
yeah.
hard bargains come in handy.
It will continue to come in handy.
Before we warp out, essentially, I'll have a message sent over to Shrain telling about the goings on about the disappearances and murders going on in this world.
Okay. I'm also going to send a message to Shrey.
And at some point, he would like to set
No,
up
don't tell Shrey. He doesn't know that I know that I'm working with you. I'm like, okay, whatever you do, don't tell Shrey.
Pierre could also be saying, like, we got to this world and noticed this was going on, thought you should know about it type thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And at some point, he would like to set up like I'm going to call it the 40K version of a Zoom call. Essentially what he did last time where
he inhabited the body of somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And so what does your message say, AP?
My first message is to my wife consort, Queen Celine Lakima III of Tefira Secundus, Imperial Governor. Just describing our trip, talking about all the murdering, the rumors about the murder room, how lovely a city fallen into squalor can be in its own way, and that we were accosted by weird Nostromo navigators who put tape all over my precious machine. And then I sent a message to Shrain that's something along the lines of, I don't know, I feel like he wouldn't spend too long because it's got to be enciphered, and the longer the message is, the less well it gets transmitted.
I thought you were
right?
going to say more romantic than the one you sent your wife.
But something along the lines of saying, it's me. I investigated. What I found was that the local precinct warden, Manus Kripman, is requesting backup. Our navigator and our random Astra Telepathica member managed to figure out everything that was happening in about 10 minutes of being on the surface, that the world was getting pulled toward the Lord of Brass's realm, and that they require immediate backup, and that as a field agent, I don't know what level of authority and assessment you want from me, but my recommendation is to provide immediate assistance as the city is suffering. And to back that up, I would say the precinct had to be moved to a random factory, which is no longer factorializing and is operating at minimal possible capacity. Things are bad here, and they could be better with literally any level of assistance. And anyone that was here for 10 minutes could figure all of this out. Sincerely, Nero, agent of the Inquisition.
Okay.
I am an agent of the Inquisition. Come on now.
No, it's not. I know you are, but it's not. It's not going to stop me from laughing about it.
Listen, it would be 4 paragraphs to include all my titles now.
I still want to say that you got the wrong mission.
Listen, I think I did good on this mission. I didn't intervene at all. I didn't kill anybody.
I didn't say you did bad. I'm just saying.
Yeah. When we get back on the ship, I remind the captain we need to quarantine Adrian for 2 weeks and not let him fly the ship or do anything.
Okay, well, just you keep an eye on him all 24/7.
That's ridiculous. No one could keep an eye on him for 24/7. We just lock his room and we have
You literally have a third eye with your gun.
You know I
that
sleep.
can see through walls.
Well, yes, it can. But, Lord Captain, all I'm saying is it's a medical quarantine. We have probably hundreds of Medicaid who could just chain him to a bed for like 2 weeks. It's not that... Lord Captain, are you saying we break quarantine protocol? People who break quarantine protocol are dumb and stupid.
What were you looking at?
The camera, sir. It's behind the fourth wall.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Look, all I'm saying is, do you want murder Adrian or normal Adrian? 2 weeks of random discomfort is nothing for a sailor.
Just keep an eye on him through the day.
You want me to follow Adrian
at
all times? You wouldn't have a professional whose job it is to do this on a rotating schedule?
I just want to cause you pain. This is to make up for the time that you didn't, shoot on site when I told you to.
Lord Captain, we worked with that man for a long... You would have had me kill a librarian space marine?
And what if it wasn't?
I would have shot him if it wasn't a librarian space marine. Lord Captain, when have you ever known me to not shoot something?
The person who trespassed on my property?
But he was a librarian space marine.
You didn't know that before you can shoot him.
Yes, I did.
The
game master told me. He said, "Don't." He said, "This is who this guy is," and I was like, "All right, I'm not going to shoot him. I'm going to ask him a question." I knew he was an Adeptus Astartes.
Sure, you did.
You're just
Got him.
Meanwhile, Adrian's up on the bridge piloting the ship.
yeah. Nero just grabs him by the back of the collar and drags him away. And he's like, "All right, Adrian, you have to be quarantined for the next 14 days.
Oh, are we actually doing that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well.
All right. Hey, you, person on the
Adrian's
ship.
driving the ship being like, if you're not careful, I'll kill all of us.
The night crew comes on board to do the flying up.
Yeah.
So Nero, you get a response back from Queen Lakmira as well. To say everything is going well with the pregnancy. She's pretty sure she felt a kick. That it was definitely fortuitous that you came to Seferus Secundus, because after she made inquiries thinking that chaos had been defeated in the universe, she discovered that the old cult which had existed on Seferus Secundus in years past actually still festered within the minds of the shadows. And so she's been having her over the past couple of months, her personal guard have been putting down this heretic cult as best they can, and that she wouldn't have known that she needed to worry about it if it had not been for your warning that chaos was still a dominant force in the universe.
Wasn't I the one that told her that? It doesn't matter.
Nero is just happy to hear that his wife is happy, that the pregnancy is going well, and that heretics are being murdered. He spends all 14 days with Adrian, just like, "Hey, buddy, look at that. They're being killed."
This is my wife putting down a heretic cult that she didn't even know existed.
She works
showing
so
like
fast.
gun cam footage. Yeah, see that guy, his head exploded.
This is why the Imperium will always defeat chaos, because chaos is stupid.
Apparently, according to a note, the cult is a group that call themselves the Brotherhood of Malice.
Look at their name. It's so dumb. The Brotherhood of Malice.
I get it.
I don't get it.
The bomb.
Wow.
Malice is a chaos god that hates chaos.
Yeah.
Is he Malal? Or
Yeah,
I thought that was Malice.
I think Malice might be another name for it, but yeah.
It could be unrelated completely, but
Malice is also
he's
a proper noun.
Is he a chaos god that self-flagellates? Is that basically what that is?
No, he doesn't. Malal doesn't hate himself. He hates all the other chaos gods.
That's normal, though. Don't they all hate each other?
Yeah, kind of.
They all have like the other ones all have like an antithesis god. They have one which is like they particularly don't like. Like Tzeentch doesn't like Khorne and vice versa, and Nero doesn't like Slaanesh and vice versa particularly.
That's pretty normal. So anyway, Adrian, regicide.
Yes.
14 days of it.
Okay.
Wow, can't believe we got through all those 14 days in this one cutscene. Incredible. Yeah. I'm so glad you didn't try to start murdering people, because I would have had to put your throat through the wall.
Just my throat.
The rest of you would have followed at some point.
Yes.
I'm going to go see Ivy about this Mastiff.
Okay, no worries. So she's tinkering in her workshop when you enter. Ah, Dawn, how are you? How's everything going with the new what do you call it in the end? Sorry, Ares. Is that right or
Ares? I mean, I'm coming to pick up Ares right now. That's.
Oh, so okay, so we do that. Okay, no, okay. Well, here I have. Sorry, then I'll rephrase it. Welcome. Yeah, I have your new Cybermassive ready to go. This is probably one of my best works yet. Bit bigger than the other two, but I thought you're a bit bigger than me, so that probably. And all the dimensions are numerologically appropriate to your own details, so it should be a very good partnership.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, Ivy. I appreciate the extra mileage you go to make sure that all of this works.
So, most importantly, what are you going to call him, her? I'm not sure.
Well, since this will mostly be used in combat, I was thinking Ares. Why not?
Okay. Let me just put that name into my name thing and see what it says.
Realize now that that's probably not what I would have said. Mostly because that god does not exist in this world.
I mean,
right?
so certainly, so that's not thing is that religion outside of the Imperium doesn't exist insofar as nobody worships these gods, but people are still aware of past religions and the significance of, there would have been like the ancient Grecians, you'd know they had war gods, for example. So the name is still quite useful. And one of the NPCs you've encountered so far is named Leteinia, for example. So certainly it's still something.
I thought that was more like, like a metal band kind of just calling themselves Athena because why the fuck not? It sounds metal. I thought that was the case. I didn't realize it was like.
No, and there's like there's like certain people that are inspired for like past, like let's say Space Marine chapters. Ultramarines are inspired by Roman history.
Right. Okay. I get
towards they're inspired by Spartans essentially.
I'm surprised I can remember Roman history this far forward, but
yeah, it's strange what makes it into the grim darkness of the 41st millennium.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure names of war gods definitely one of those things that would be carried quite a good way as well. So,
okay.
So interesting name for you're going to use it in battle. Is that right? Him in battle.
Well, when I first joined this ship, it was. You've met Nero, yes? You know what he's like, yes?
Yes.
Okay, all right, great. When I first joined this ship, I tend to thought of him as a very reliable individual, but as of late, his personality has been fluctuating very rapidly. And I'm unsure that I can rely on him to be a stable force in our combat lineup. So Dawn will bend down and start like petting Ares, I guess. It's like, so having a companion I can rely on is going to be very useful to me. So he will be more than just a companion in combat, but that'll be his primary focus.
It's probably so. In the name you've chosen, then it's important to understand that the expression of that name as a numerological constant is 11/2. Which would indicate that he is highly sensitive, spiritual, maybe a little bit secretive, but then his personality number of 5 would make him witty, sensual, and curious. Interesting choices in the companion, but I'm sure you know what you're doing, Dawn.
There are so many jokes that if this was my Discord would have happened right now, but I'm not going to make them because that's not what we're about here on this family-friendly podcast.
All right.
So,
well, if you find the personality isn't meeting up to your expectations, let me know and I can do a reprogram.
Oh, that won't be necessary. It's
okay.
Personality is not something you can wash away, I feel.
Oh, au contraire. You're muted, AP.
I said cut sideways to Miriam.
I think I'm gonna cut sideways to Nero, just being like pumping iron, being like, yes, I'm so attractive with his bulging muscles.
I don't know that Nero has never said that he's attractive. Oh, Don. I know that you think that way, but not everyone does.
Au contraire. How wrong you are.
When Don is leaving this room, I'm gonna show up, by the way, so.
Okay, no worries.
Nero, do you enjoy the sight of my combat hound? His name is Ares.
It's like the size of a small bear.
What does it do?
As chainsaw
Everything.
mouth.
Okay.
His mouth is literally the size of a tree trunk, and it can consume it as quickly as a chainsaw would.
I look at it and I reach out a hand towards it and say, I will call you Small Nero.
No, it has a name, and his name is Ares.
I look
and
towards
I would
it and I
urge
say,
you to respect
Small Nero.
Ares, activate chainsaw mouth on dumb stump.
Oh, man.
I mean, its mouth blurs up into a...
Nero doesn't feel any level of threat from this thing, so he turns back towards Cade and says, all right, bring the missile launcher in.
He comes in carrying this missile launcher in his arms.
Perfect.
Oh, hello, Nero. Hello, Cade. Yes. How are we both?
Why did you design a combat hound that looks like it's too big to fit through the ship's corridors?
Well, I mean, Dawn's just so impressive. It needed to be so impressive. The massive needed to be impressive in itself as well, and useful. I'm still trying to figure out how to add rockets to it, because I know Dawn has that flight pack.
Yes.
I wouldn't.
Oh shit. James.
Dawn is impressive, but I think we mean the word in two different ways. Yes.
What kind of stuff is happening on my ship?
I am curious about how this machine is going to be more useful than Dawn in melee combat, though. It looks like it's going to be very good at killing.
So it should support Dawn's activities in melee combat. That's the whole idea, isn't it? It's a companion. A secretive, sensual companion.
Nero turns slowly towards Dawn, looking disgusted. I will not speak of this again, Dawn.
I'm not even in the room, Arthur.
I think Dawn's left.
Yeah, Don's already walked away.
So
your missile launcher.
Yes, I wanted to know about its machine spirit name.
Okay, excellent. Let me have a look.
It is a sensual, attractive, and slightly feminine rocket launcher.
Okay.
Its name is Senpai. Ooh woo.
Okay. Having a look, the maker's mark on this is serial is lowercase y, uppercase Q, uppercase B, lowercase X, uppercase Z, 7, uppercase V, lowercase E. Now that is very interesting. That probably tells us a few things about the personality of this machine.
I look like I'm very impressed toward Cade. Like,
Why can I not copy that? Copy. This is annoying me.
I feel like James just grabbed the product code of something off of Amazon and
He flipped over his Oculus sitting on his desk, and he was like, I
googled random serial code generator. There you go. Okay. All right, so it is courageous, aggressive. It's best when connected to a spiritual, loyal, and honest person who is also ambitious, confident.
Nero's just eating this up, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's. I would say that it's the closest low Gothic or high Gothic name that would fit with its designation would be Mercurial.
Mercurial. Very well.
Yeah, but spelled in the angelic form.
Yes, I know exactly what that is.
Yeah, it's in AEL rather than IAL.
Yes, but what does the name mean numerically?
That's what you just told us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Thanks, Ivy. And then I go with Kate, and I'm just like, all right, Kate, look, we're about to go visit some sort of weird inquisitorial stronghold. But after that, we're going to be going into combat. And it's going to be your first time on the battlefield. Your job is going to be to carry Mercurial next to me. You're also going to want to go to the armorer and get issued a set of armor and a gun. You do know how to fire guns now, right?
Yes.
And your training with Joss has been going well. You've been learning, how to buy and sell stuff and how to read and write and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any complaints or concerns or anything you want to say to me?
No.
Okay. Well, let's go for a run.
All right. He starts to jog alongside you while still carrying a rocket launcher, I assume.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, no worries.
He's not allowed to slack off.
The one time he drops it is the one time that it goes off.
A rocket launcher that could go off when accidentally dropped is not a very good rocket launcher.
I know, but it was aggressive, you see, so...
But it's loyal.
All right, so when you're in warp transit to Abandoned Hope, according to the information you're getting from the Oculus, you should be there within about 24 hours. You get Pierre, you get a communication coming from your choir master, who I believe we've named again, is Stein Bethor. Lord Captain, I apologize for interrupting you. Could you tell us anything about this world which we're going to? The choir is experiencing difficulty as we draw nearer to this place.
Difficulty?
The warp is tumultuous.
So long as it keeps between you and me.
Of course.
This world is a training ground for the Sisters of Battle. So I'm wondering if they have some sort of null field essentially generating here.
No, this is quite the opposite. A null field would be a dead spot in the warp. This is like a ravaged sea.
Interesting.
Like a storm current. I'm surprised that the navigator can fly so confidently through this mess. Oh, I've just been told one of our astropaths has died. I'll have to go deal with that.
Oh, very well. I'll go see with the navigator, see how she's faring then.
Okay.
Thank you for the warning.
So you can't enter the Oculus during warp travel. Basically, there's effectively like this big doorway that is hexagrammatically warded that seals when the ship is in warp, because effectively the navigator's Oculus is exposed the warp. It's still within the Geller field, but the navigator can look into the warp directly. So you can.
Oh, okay. So we're still
Yeah, you're still in translation. You're still about 24 hours away from your destination.
Okay. I guess when we're there, you'll go check on her.
Okay, no worries. Well, why don't we do your arrival after we have a break?
That sounds good.
Incredible. Good transition. We'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half, where Don and Nero will, I don't know, have another pissing contest. Stick around.